A father's silence is a fortress. It is built not of stone, but of unspoken burdens, of battles fought in the quiet hours. It is a deliberate shield, crafted to protect the son from the storms the father himself weathered. But this protection often comes at a hidden cost. This is the silent inheritance, not out of wealth or land, but of a certain kind of knowing, a hard-won understanding of life's sharpest edges, deliberately kept from the next generation. A man watches his father, seeing strength, seeing calm, but missing the agonizing process that forged it. He sees the peak, but never the climb, the sheer brutal effort involved. Why does a father choose this path of omission? It stems from a deep, primal urge to guard his offspring from suffering, a desire to present a world that is less harsh than the one he has navigated. He believes he is offering a gift, ignorance of pain, a smoother path. He forgets that pain in its proper context is not merely an enemy, but a teacher. It is the chisel that shapes character, the fire that tempers resolve. The weight of this silence is immense. It becomes a gulf between father and son, filled with unasked questions and unacknowledged fears. The son perceives his father's stoicism not as a choice, but as an innate state, a lack of vulnerability that sets an impossible standard. He learns to mask his own struggles, believing that true masculinity lies in their concealment, in the absence of any outward sign of distress. Consider the soldier returning from a brutal campaign. He carries scars, seen and unseen. He might speak of camaraderie, of duty, but the visceral horror, the gnawing fear, the sheer exhaustion that wore him to the bone, these are often left unspoken, especially to those he loves, whom he seeks to shield from the darkness he has witnessed. This is the paradox of paternal protection. In shielding the son from the narrative of suffering, the father inadvertently denies him the essential blueprints for navigating it. The son grows up believing hardship is an anomaly, a sign of weakness, rather than an integral part of the human condition and the path to growth. He is unprepared when life inevitably delivers its blows. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This imperative applies to the father's example. By withholding his own struggles, he fails to demonstrate how to be a good man through suffering, not in its absence. He offers an idealized, incomplete portrait. What is the son to do with this inherited silence? He feels a void, a sense that something fundamental is missing from his understanding of manhood. He may even resent the perceived distance, the emotional inaccessibility of his father. He yearns for a connection that transcends superficiality, a shared understanding of the battles that truly matter. This unspoken pain is not confined to the father. It ripples outward, affecting the son's own relationships, his capacity for empathy, his ability to handle adversity. He learns to build his own fortress, not of protection, but of isolation. The cycle continues, generation after generation, a lineage of stoic endurance passed down without the crucial context of vulnerability. The father, in his quiet way, might be attempting to impart a lesson of resilience. He believes that by not burdening his son with his own pain, he is making him stronger. He imagines that the son will infer the necessary toughness through observation, through osmosis. But human beings are not built to learn such profound lessons through passive observation alone. We need the narrative. We need to understand the human cost of strength. We need to see the cracks in the facade to appreciate the immense effort required to maintain it. The Stoic ideal is not the absence of feeling, but the mastery over destructive passions. And this mastery is learned through struggle, through acknowledging and navigating pain, not pretending it doesn't exist. Think of a king surveying his kingdom. He must understand not just its prosperity, but its vulnerabilities, its hidden threats, the toll of its defense. To project an image of perpetual strength without acknowledging the cost is to mislead his people, to leave them unprepared for the inevitable challenges. This silence is a heavy cloak. It conceals the father's humanity, his own journey of growth, the very lessons he unknowingly wishes to impart. It creates a legacy of stoicism that is brittle, lacking the deep roots of shared experience. The son is left to discover life's hardest truths alone, without the guidance of a father who has already walked that path. Is this deliberate withholding a true act of love, or a profound misunderstanding of what it means to prepare a son for life? The answer lies not in judgment, but in understanding the immense pressure fathers face, the complex interplay of protection and preparation. He wants his son to be strong, but perhaps he misunderstands how true strength is cultivated. The pain fathers never tell their sons is the pain of watching their sons potentially repeat their own mistakes, the pain of seeing their sons struggle without the hard-won wisdom they possess. It is the pain of knowing that the very act of shielding might hinder the son's ultimate growth. This is the burden of manhood, passed down through unspoken rites. A father's stoicism is often a testament to his endurance, but its silence can be a void that stunts the growth of the man he is raising. He shields his son from the storm, but in doing so, he fails to teach him how to build an ark or how to sail through the tempest. The son, in turn, carries the weight of this inherited silence. He learns to become a man by observing a blueprint that omits crucial pages. He builds his own stoicism upon a foundation of unacknowledged struggles, a facade of strength that may one day crumble. He becomes a man who understands duty, but not necessarily the human cost of it. The truth is, a man's strength is not measured by the absence of pain, but by his ability to endure it, to learn from it, and to continue moving forward. This is a lesson that often remains locked behind a father's quiet lips, a treasure of wisdom unshared, a silent testament to a love that sought to protect, but perhaps, in its silence, ultimately failed to prepare. A father's silence is a fortress. It is built not of stone, but of unspoken burdens, of battles fought in the quiet hours. It is a deliberate shield, crafted to protect the son from the storms the father himself weathered. But this protection often comes at a hidden cost, a cost that is finally understood when the son himself becomes the father, carrying the same weight, contemplating the same difficult truths.